Hey everybody, welcome back to Life with Lolo. It is time for our weekly recap of Tyler Perry's Sistas. This is season 1, episode 20, and it was titled A Chance to Love. Somebody said a long time ago that this show going to 25 episodes. Child, I am ready for episode 25. Okay, because this episode tonight, child, that ending... Let's get to it, child. Bree, it opens up with Bree. She found Maurice or whatever like that. And I was like, oh, she done honed in on her acting skills. She must have went to some lessons because she had that crying scene down, y'all. She had it down, okay? She was crying. She called 911. She on 911 and stuff. The lady asking her, like, how is he hurt, ma'am? How is he hurt? Do we gotta pause? Is he breathing? She like, I don't know. I can't tell how I'm supposed to tell that and stuff. I said, oh, you better do it, Bree. So she like, I don't know how I'm supposed to do it. The lady like touch his arm. Do you feel now touch his wrist? Do you feel a pulse or whatever like that? She like, no, she don't feel no pulse. I'm like, oh Lord, is it did? So then she like, he cold or whatever. So then the lady was like, is the you hear the ambulance is coming and stuff. And she was like, okay, all right, and so the lady was like, okay, ma'am, they're on their way, they're there, whatever. You did a real good job or whatever. I was like, what job did she do? Because all she did was cry and scream. She ain't find no pulse. She ain't hear if it was breathing. Like, she ain't take no basic CPR class and just listen to... Child. Anyway, the lady was just trying to pep her up, make her feel good, I guess. Anyway, the ambulance gets there, and next thing we at Karen's house. Guess who walked in the door, child? Zach. I said, why Zach still got a key? Why? Just why? She like, he like, you could have told me or whatever. And she was just like, look, I'm not in the mood to be arguing with you. Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I ain't come over here to argue and stuff. I said, all that attitude, that's what it sounded like, you came to argue or whatever. He like, I knew he was here. I waited or whatever. If I wanted to argue, I would have came up here when he was here, but I waited or whatever. She was just like, your stuff right here. And so he was like, all right. She was like, just take it. He was just like, all right. This what your friends be doing or whatever. She was just like, what? He was like, that married man stuff. That's what you and your friends be doing. She was just like, look, I am tired. I ain't sleep all night. I am tired. I need a nap, Zach. Just go, okay? If you can move faster if you stop talking, get your stuff or whatever. He was just like, all right, I got it. And so he was like, what did he say? Something about you and them bitches. She was like, what? So now you gonna call me a bitch? She was like, I'm sorry. Ho. I said, oh no, Zach, you doing too much. Now she a bitch and a hoe. Like, boy, bye. And so, she was like, take your shit. He was like, yeah, go on, talk your talk. She was like, he was like, take your keys. Yes, give me my keys to my house, because this is my house, or whatever. So he give her the key. Child, he chucked that goddamn key. That key was like, boink, and hit her right on the head. She like, no, the fuck you did. He like, oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hit you on the floor. Like, come on now. Where was you aiming at? Because her head was right there. Where was you aiming at? So she like, you got to go. You got to get the beep up out of here. She goes to the kitchen, child. She grabbed that knife so fast. He's like, you going to pull a knife on me? Yes, I am. And you better go, or whatever. He said, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hit you. You know I wouldn't do that to you, Karen. She was like, I didn't mean to do that. Wasn't much. She was like, everything you do hurts me, Zach. You got to go. So he's still standing there whining and crying. She go on the phone, call 911. And then he finally leave or whatever. She told the police, like, no, it's fine or whatever like that. He's leaving or whatever. So he left. And she was like, lucky ain't leave no mark or whatever. So ain't no mark there or whatever. We at the police station. And Andy goes to the police station. I had to remember who went to Andy goes to the police station or whatever like that. She like, I'm here to see my client. Child, why is Jasmine and the PI sitting at in the damn police station? I was like, Lord, we got to see this PI again. I don't want to see Leslie in this goddamn tapered wig. What? No. Anyway, they there. So Jasmine see Andy, of course. So she want to start with Andy, get all up in Andy's face, and I knew you would be here, bitch. And Andy like, look, I'm not in the mood. Go on, get out my face or whatever like that. Was he with you? Was he with you? She was like, look, just get out my face. Man stealing, whore. And then the PI like, Jasmine, don't go, Sam. So what he gonna do is he gonna screw you. He never gonna marry you. And then he gonna leave you. And so so then she was like, he gonna take away your law degree and just make you work for him and manipulate you. And I was like, first of all, you can't take away nobody's law degree. You can take away their license, but you can't take away their law degree, because she always gonna be a lawyer, regardless if she didn't got suspended. She passed her bar exam and all that other shit. So she just going at Andy. Andy like, look, get out my face, whatever like that. And so somehow the PI was like, whoa, calm down. She was like, you know what? You ain't even know she was with him or he was with her last night. You ain't no good or whatever. You fired. So she fires the PI. The PI was like, oh, fuck you, bitch. And she go back over there to the chairs or whatever. So she steady going off on Andy, and then she leave. And so she was like, he ain't getting out today. And then she goes sashay out the door. The PI come over there apologizing to Andy and stuff like that. And Andy was like, why is she even here or whatever? And the PI was like, well, she was filing a report on him from last night. For him, she was like, for what? And she was like, for him beating her. She had all the bruises and stuff on her arms and stuff like that. And she was like, well, he was with me last night. She was like, well, she said it was in the morning time or something. She was like, well, is she stable? Like, what's wrong with her? So the PI was about to take up for her or whatever, because you know that's her boo on the side. So she was trying to take up for her, but she was like, you know what? Forget that. She fine. I'm fine anyway. Girl, look. You need to look deep into her and Maurice. I told y'all they had something going on, because she was all up on his neck and too close to just be a lawyer-client kind of situation. So she was like, you need to look into this or whatever. And then she was just like, what she was saying? She was like, she said something, child. Oh, she was like, well, here is the name of 3 people. You gonna need it. She was like, why is you doing this or whatever like that? And she was like, look, I'm trying to help you out or whatever. And she was like, you just trying to help me out because you're trying to sleep with me or whatever. And the PI was like, well, is it working? She was like, no. She was like, see, there you go or whatever. So then she steady trying to flirt with Andy. I'm like, Lord, Leslie, don't nobody want you in that wig. Like, go on now, get. So Andy was basically like, look, I'm not hiring or whatever. She was like, oh, okay, but you know, I'm the best in the business or whatever. Bitch, no, you're not. No, you're not. Because you barely knew where the girl stopped. You ain't. Because you ain't know that was her sister. No, you wasn't. So, bye. Be gone. So then the PI leave right behind her. Then we see Andy in the back with Gary. They doing that whole small talk, slow talk bullshit that they always do. And then she apologized. And he like, no, I would do it again. I would do it in a heartbeat or whatever. And so she like, look, we need to get you up out of here. I know a judge. I'll talk to the judge. The judge can get you out. He was just like, how you know him? I said, here he go with this bullshit. So he all like, well, how you know him? She was like, I've tried some cases in his courtroom. I'm like, she is a lawyer, duh. Why else would she know a judge? But he all in his feelings because he listening to what Jasmine and old boy said about her using her titties and her ass and flirting with judges and stuff like that. So he says this. He was like, oh, because Jasmine and old boy, Maurice, was like, you was flirting with a couple judges. She was like, you talking to me like I'm some goddamn whore and I'm not a smart attorney or whatever. He was like, no, baby, it ain't like that. He was like, but you entertaining that shit and I got a problem with that. So he was like, no, baby, all right, you'll just, you know, get the bitch. She was like, look, I got a friend that's, you know, having a hard time right now. I gotta go check on them. I'll talk to you later, whatever like that. We'll talk about the bail and all the other stuff. I'll try to get the paperwork rolling for you, but I gotta go. He was like, oh, okay, baby. Tell your friend, bye. Or you just, oh, he irritating. Like, if Jasmine lied about you doing all this shit, why wouldn't you think they was lying about what was Andy doing and all this other stuff? Gary's so stupid and so just, we at the hospital, y'all. Calvin there. He's sitting there, whatever. Bree comes in. She don't even recognize this man is there is sitting right there in the chairs or whatever like that. So she sit down. She's still crying and stuff. Eyes all bloodshot red and whatnot. And he like, really, Sabrina? Really? The hospital? This is about my dad. Like, really? And he goes stomping off. I was like, you own the hospital? Like, maybe one of her friends was at the hospital and she just came up to, which was the case or whatever like that. You gonna just go off on her like she was there stuck. She didn't realize you was there. Like, you was not that important, Calvin. Not that important at all. And not that cute. Like, God. Oh, he irritates too. But anyway, the cops come in, like these detectives or something like that. They talking to Bree. Bree tells them what happened. And she was like, Alonzo said he was going to meet him at the bank to go to the show together or whatever like that. And so she crying and stuff. And, the cops was like, they got the surveillance tapes and all this other stuff. And he was like, do you know Alonzo's last name? And she was like, no, but we could pull the records at the bank or whatever. So good. I'm glad they could do that. And then they got the surveillance. So they gonna get his ass. Okay. So, they was like, okay, they left. And she was like, well, do you know what's going on and stuff? I thought he was dead and stuff. And they was like, no, we haven't heard anything. But we'll let you know. We'll talk to you later. So they leave or whatever, and then Calvin, the whole time the detective's talking to Bree, he listening or whatever. So he comes over and he was like, excuse me, like, who is him or whatever? And she was like, Maurice. And he was like, damn, like, what? Or whatever. And so she was telling them, she was saying like, well, I don't understand like how that could happen, like why that happens to him or whatever. And then he popping off on Bree talking about something. That's how it happens when you be judging somebody or whatever. No, that's not what he said then. Is that what he said? No, she was like, she said it was Maurice, and she was like, how is he? And she was like, she don't know. So he said he was gonna go check on the ask the doctor or whatever. Danny comes in. Danny like, well, what's going on? How you doing? And she like, I don't know or whatever. And she was like, they beat him real bad. And she was like, I thought he was dead and all this other stuff. Danny hugs her and stuff. And so Bree feeling real guilty, like, because she gave Alonzo the phone number and all the other stuff as a joke. And then Maurice ended up like this. And she was saying like she knew that something bad was going to happen because she felt it in her spirit. And Danny was like, look, you can't blame yourself. This man is the crazy one. He need to be locked up underneath the jail, rolled over the jail. Somebody need to shank him in there, whatever like that. Go like she didn't say all that. I added a little extra. But all them things should happen to him. So Calvin, did Calvin come in? Let me make sure, y'all, because y'all know I be boom, 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 boom all over the guy. Oh, so then Danny was like, did you call his family or something? And Brie was like, oh shit, let me go call. So she calls the bank, tries to get their emergency info. She tells them to text it to her. That's when Calvin came in. I'm like, where is Calvin coming in, child? Calvin came in and he told her the doctor would be in to talk to her soon or whatever like that. And she was like, oh, I got the information for his emergency contact. And before she can even dial or whatever, Calvin was like, no, don't do that. And she was like, well, why not or whatever? It's his mom. She should know. He was like, look, his mom, she real holy, holier than thou. And she just feel like he the devil and he gets whatever is coming to him or whatever like that. So they like, damn, what kind of shit? And so Brie was like, well, don't you think she should still know? He was like, well, what's the point? Like, she just gonna blame it on him. And, you know, so don't put that on him. Don't do this to him or whatever like that. So they was like, well, I don't understand how somebody can just do that or beat him, whatever. Like, you know, be all hateful and stuff like that. And so that's when Calvin just pops off on Brie. And was like, it's the same thing that you be doing and stuff. Oh, judgy, you judging and stuff. And, you hating and not getting to know people and stuff like that. And then he turned to Danny because Danny said something to him. And he was like, and, what did he say? Oh yeah, she was like, you need to ease up. Danny was like, you need to ease up. And he was like, and that goes for you too. So it's like, I don't even know you. He was like, exactly. You don't even know me. You over here judging me and stuff like that. And all this hate and all this. And so, he had a point there, but that was not the time. That was really not the time. This girl already broken up. Maurice in the hospital. You already going through some shit because your daddy in there dying. So what is all this extra bullshit from? So then he saunters off or whatever. And, Danny was like, yo, what was up with that? He shouldn't have even said nothing like this. He see you upset and stuff. And of course, Bree taking up for him. Well, he's upset, Danny. And she was like, and so are you, or whatever. Your mascara over here running and his ain't. I was like, Danny. So she was like, I think that's what his point was. You over here judging him or whatever like that. And she was just like, whatever. I just don't think he should have did that. Danny phone going off. I'm thinking it's the rodeo dude because she not answering because you know how he like to blow her up. But no, it's Zach. Of course, Zach calling her up to talking about he got $2,000. I guess that's what them 3 checks equal. He's saying he had $2,000 and he need a place to stay. And she like, what the hell done happened now? He tells her that what he did through the keys and stuff like that. She was like, what the fuck, Zach? Like, really? So he like, look, I know it was an accident and all this other stuff. Just tell her that I'm sorry. She was just like, all right, whatever. Just make sure you got the rent money and stuff like that. So I was like, Lord, here you go, child. Bringing this boy back in this goddamn house. Like, why he can't find some place to stay for $2,000? Like, what's the problem? But he want to go and stay with Danny in this little 1-bedroom efficiency. But she ain't got no, whatever, child. And the couch this big. All right. Anyway, Bree, and while she was talking to Zach on the phone, went to the bathroom. So then Danny just sitting there because she hung up on Zach or whatever. She's sitting there looking at her phone. She waiting for Rodeo to call. My thing is, you just told this man not to blow you up and not to call you so more, not to be so damn pressed. Now he doing exactly what you asked him to do. And now you all in your feelings and stuff, all looking at your phone every 5 seconds, waiting for his call and his text message. But you just told him last night to calm down. Make up your fucking mind, Danny. Make up your goddamn mind. We see Andy. She in the car. She's talking to Karen. And Karen like, you on your way, girl? And she was like, no, I gotta go stop. She was like, I'm on my way, but I gotta go make this quick stop at work or whatever. Karen like, why is you going over there? What are you doing? She was like, I got some leverage on him. I got something to show him. She was like, it's gonna be all right. It's in the daytime. Ain't shit gonna fit in the pop off, but I got to do what I got to do real quick. So, Karen's like, all right, girl, but be safe or whatever. And as soon as you finish with that asshole, you call me up. And she was like, all right, whatever. I see you soon in the hospital. Just let me know what's, going on with Maurice. She was like, all right, girl, bye. So she hangs up. Next we see, Andy. So Andy barges into the office. The secretary like, you want me to call the cops? Not to call the cops. Call security and stuff. He was like, no, you can let her in or whatever. Just close the door behind you or whatever like that. So, he like, what do you want? And she was like, what do you want? Or whatever. All right, y'all, I got to pause it right here real quick because my dang on phone is, damn video filling up. So I'm going to be right back. Hold that thought. Hey, y'all, I'm sorry about that. I forgot to, back up my freaking stuff to Google so I can clear out the stuff from my phone. And I had like 18 minutes to record. And y'all know I ain't gonna do no video in no damn 18 minutes. So I had to go through Google and then back up some stuff onto my Google so it can free up some space on my damn phone. I need to do it on my iPhone too because that thing just is full as hell too. Yeah, I just be recording and not deleting. I don't even know why. But anyway, enough of that. Because y'all ain't come here to see or hear about that shit. Y'all came to hear about this goddamn show. So, back to what I was saying. He was just like, what do you want? This old boy. He like, what do you want? She was like, what do you want? And he was like, what? What are you coming in here with all this extra shit for? Like, leave. Like, why are you here? She was like, I ain't leaving. You need to sit your bitch ass down. He was just like, you talking to me, bitch? And she was like, yeah, I ain't them other hoes that you done messed around with or whatever like that. You not finna do this to me and get away with it type thing. And he was just like, what is you talking about? And he acting like he in denial and all this other stuff, right? And so she started laughing. You know when a woman start laughing, like crazy laugh, then you in for some shit. So she do the whole crazy woman laugh. And she was like, yeah, when I go public, you gonna be done. He ain't say nothing. He quiet, right? He all like quiet. Face all like, what? She was like, yeah, that's what I thought or whatever. He was like, so you came in here threatening me? She was like, oh, no, it ain't no threat. Because I got, what she say? I got a few women's names or some shit she said. And she was like, you know what? I could go public and you could just pray, walk on faith, everything finna be all right. Or you can drop this and leave me be or whatever. And hope that, then she was still saying, hope that nobody come out. So I'm like, if he dropping everything, whatever, child. She was like, you take your chances or whatever. So he was like, I think he asked her what she wanted again, and or she said, she was like, well, however it came, he was like, you came to me or whatever. And he said something, and she was like, well, what did you say to me? Like, I'm the lawyer who the judges like because of my ass and tits or whatever. So he was just like, So he was just like, well, what do you want? She was like, look, this is what it's going to be. What did he say? He was like, I'll talk to my client. That's Jasmine's ass. And tell her to rescind the lawsuit. And she was like, and he was like, and I will tell her not to take it to the bar. And she was like, and he was like, and what? What are you talking about? She was like, and drop the charges on Gary. He was like, oh, that bitch ass. No. He was like, what? She was like, drop the charges. And he was just like, all right, whatever. I agree or whatever. So he agreed to drop the charges and stuff. So then she asked him, well, you going to rape me? He said, no, I don't believe him. Because what was all that? Like, sir, you basically was finna rape her because you was all on top of her. You was all clawing at her. He keeps saying, no, he wasn't going to do it. I don't believe his ass. Because what's the names of the other people? He must have raped them or did something to them too. So why wouldn't he do that to, Andy? He gonna talk about something, we was drunk and I was trying to scare you and all this other shit. She was like, no, you was high. I had a couple sips of wine or whatever like that. So then he asked for her to drop the charges on him and call it even and stuff. So he calls his secretary and tells him to get Miss Borders on the phone or whatever like that. And he was like, how will I know? What did he say? Oh, how will I tell you when it's done or whatever? And she was like, oh, I don't know when it's done. So then Jasmine on the phone, he picks up the phone, was like, hey, Miss Borders or whatever, I need a social. She was like, hey, baby. And then Andy was like, checkmate. I said, I'm like, first of all, why would you take the phone call with Andy in the room? Like, you knew that girl was going to be all lovey-dovey and give pet names and stuff like that because y'all sleeping together. So why would you take the call? Whatever, child. Then we see Karen. She make it to the hospital. Danny all like, well, what happened to your face, girl? She was like, nothing happened to my face. She was like, yeah, what happened to your face? She was like, nothing happened to my face. She was like, Zach then called you, didn't she? She was like, no, She was like, well, where is that then? She was like, what? She was like, yeah, he called you or whatever. So then they start talking about how Zach finna go live with Danny. Danny was like, well, I told him he had a mom. She was like, it's gonna be longer than that, girl, because he ain't got no credit. And so she was just like, well, I told him it's a month. You know, I'm gonna let him stay there with me. And I'm not going to sleep with him and all this other stuff. They had like some little banter. My thing is, first of all, why is Danny always taking up for Zach? Because she all like, well, it was an accident. He apologized. And then she was like, it all started because he saw you with old boy at the in the lobby of the hotel, not the hotel, in the hospital. And she was like, no, it all started with him cheating on me or whatever like that. And she was like, well, y'all was doing the same thing. No, they wasn't. No, they wasn't, Danny. He started cheating on her first. That's why she kicked him out. And then that's why she moved on to, well, she didn't really move on. She was just dating Aaron for a quick second. And then his wife killed herself in front of her house. She went on one date with the dude, and the wife went all crazy and spastic because he divorced her because she slept with somebody else. Like, so Danny, you don't even know the story for you to be acting all like you don't know why she kicked Zach out and how she ended up with Aaron, all this other shit. If Danny don't go somewhere, she was pissing me off. That's why I got there in rodeo and call your ass back. Anyway, Karen was like, well, where's Bree? And she was like, oh, she in the bathroom. Andy come in. And Andy was just like, what happened or whatever? She was like, Danny told Andy what happened with the whole Maurice thing. And so Karen was trying to ask Andy, was she okay? And she was like, yeah, girl, but I'll tell you about that later or whatever. Because they don't want to say that in front of Danny. Of course not. Because they don't want Danny to know that the dude almost tried to rape Andy. And Danny going to pop off, try to go down there and kill him and all this other shit. And they don't feel like dealing with all that shit. What happened? Mom sleep with him. I got all that. And oh, so she was like, when Danny told her, she was like, Dan Malonzo or whatever. And she was like, well, I want to know how he found her or whatever. So she was like, well, I don't know. So they was trying to figure out what was taking Bree so damn long. And Danny was like, just give us some space. Then we finally see Bree. She coming out the bathroom. Calvin's dad walking to the room. Of course, she walking past the room that Calvin's dad in. Anyway, the dad stopped her and he was like, oh my God, Bree, I didn't know you were here at the hospital. She was like, yeah, I'm here visiting my friend. So he was like, was your friend okay? She was like, she don't know. He was like, well, I'm here to, see my husband. He was so mad that Calvin took him out to the club and stuff like that. And they was just talking. And he was like, well, Calvin has to mellow out and, calm down and all this other stuff. Calvin comes out the room. Of course, he all in his, why are you talking to my dad? And why are you... I was just like, if Calvin don't get his drawers out his ass and calm the fuck down, he was getting on my nerves. So the dad, like, I was just talking to Sabrina or whatever. All right, bye, Sabrina and stuff. So then Calvin go in the room. And Calvin like, how you know her or whatever. And he was just like, because when he came out of the room, he was like, is she bothering you? I can call security or whatever. Anyway, back in the room, he like, well, how do you know her or whatever? He was like, well, I went down there to the bank to talk to her and stuff like that because I can tell that, y'all like each other and she cares about you and stuff like that. And I'm sure she's in love with her. In love with you. And not Andy. Calvin is like, well, it's too soon for all that. And she just judged so much. It's just too much judgment and stuff. And then the dad is like, look, you can't let time waste or whatever like that. If I would have known the stuff that, I don't know what the other daddy name was, but the daddy that's in the bed, the one who got cancer, he got stage 4 cancer or whatever like that. So he was like, if I would have known that this would have turned out the way things are, then I wouldn't have been so hard on him, arguing with him about, leaving his socks on the floor or kicking him out the bed when he's snoring. If I could take everything back, I would, and get those hours, minutes, seconds, all that other stuff back. So, child, why the dad though, the dad who went to go see Bree, because I don't remember none of their names. He was like, while he talking, the daddy who dying, he steady gasping and all this other stuff. I said, if they don't stop fucking playing with me. So he steady gasping. He trying to talk, child. He like, and he like, what, Dad? What? He like, go get her. Go after her and get her. I was just like, oh my God. Like, I was trying not to laugh, but the shit was so fucking ridiculous. It ain't make no sense. I said, is Tyler really doing this? Is he really, like, this is his last words? And I said, OMG. So he was like, go get her. Go get her. Don't let me tell you again or whatever. And so here go the other day. You heard him, son. Go. Go. I said, oh my God. Why? This shit is so fucking ridiculous. It was so damn cheesy and ridiculous. It didn't make no sense. I said, is we really doing this? But whatever. Calvin goes running out the hospital room to go see Bree in the waiting room or whatever. And so, Danny and Bree talking, and Bree still blaming herself and like, oh my God, what if he dies and all this other stuff. They still waiting for the doctor to give him a word on what's happening and stuff. Andy and Karen leave to go find the doctor. Danny's still watching her phone. And she like, no call or text back or whatever. Isn't that weird? Bree ain't really listening to her or whatever like that. She was like, yeah, he was just blowing me up. Did nothing. He was like, he just vanished and stuff. That's what you get. Again, you told this man to back up. He was doing too much, remember? Now you want him to do all that. Anyway, she looked up, Calvin walking back into the thing. She was like, oh shit. So, he like, can I talk to you alone, Bree? And Danny like, what? What do you want? Like, what do you want? And he was like, well, I want to talk to Bree alone. I said, oh, all this attitude. But Danny, she get up and leave or whatever. He go over there to talk to Calvin and saying like, can I, what did he say? what do you feel about me or whatever? And she was like, I like you. He was like, you really like me or whatever, or how much or some shit. And she was like, a lot or whatever. And then she apologizes, and then he just like all this judgment and stuff. And then she like, I get it. And he was like, my dad's really like you. And then they going back and forth and all this other cheesy shit that I really don't care about. Cause I'm like, why is we pushing this relationship? Like she just, oh Lord, I done knocked my damn phone down. I'm sorry, y'all. Ooh, I'm doing the most today, child. But anyway, I'm like, why is we pushing this goddamn relationship so hard? Like, you keep judging him. He don't like how you judge him. You don't like how he dress. You don't like how he move. It's just too much. Like, just be friends, but don't try to make some relationship or whatever like that. It's just ridiculous. And they start talking about how Maurice a fighter and he funny and all this other stuff. And then Calvin Daddy come in, child. Oh, because Brie was like, well, I hope your dad makes it or something. And then Calvin Daddy come in like, he died. I said, oh my God. And then it cut off. So, all I know is the next episode, Calvin better not come out his mouth and blame Brie for not being by his daddy's side while he was dying. I'm telling you. Because I already see it happening. Well, if I ain't had to try to make up a relationship with you, I would have been by my dad's side on his last breath. He bet not. Okay? He bets not say none of that. Anyway, when they showed the clip for Maurice, if Tyler don't get some writers and some better equipment, he got a whole effing studio. Whatever, y'all. Anyway, tell me how y'all thought about this episode. If y'all like this review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button and go ahead and subscribe if you are not already subscribed to my channel. And then hit the notification bell to be notified for when I drop new videos. All right, y'all. That's all I got. And I'm sorry for the technical difficulties tonight. I promise I will be better on Friday for Love After Lockup. All right, y'all. Until next time. Peace.